What is going on, everybody? What is going on? We are finally live for the first time. I believe the last time we went live was for the last chapter review of Dragon Ball manga 102.
Oh, okay.
That's the last time we went live, and man, it's been so long. To everyone out there, how's everyone doing? We're doing good. It's Friday night. We're chilling, and we're gonna talk about the
Was
final
good.
episode of Dragon Ball Daima. And I got Rishon with me, man. Welcome back again, man. It's good to see you again and do a live together. Tell the viewers out there, where can they find your stuff at?
Well, I will say it's nice to be back on live with you, and I'm glad that we're keeping it in the theme of Dragon Ball. I didn't remember the last time we were on. We were talking about the chapter, so it's pretty cool that we're literally talking about the last episode of the Dragon Ball Daima. So that's awesome. Well, you guys heard my name is Rayshawn Gatson. I'm from the Rayshawn Gatson Anime Podcast. You guys can find me on all your podcasting platforms. You can find me on YouTube. I'm pretty sure there's probably a link or two below, or after we're done and he posts it, it'll probably be a link or two. You guys can click and see some of the things that we do over there. We do a lot of interviews for anybody that's interested in voice acting, or if you just want to hear some interesting conversations about anime and stuff like that. And just go ahead and swing over and give us a listen. Give me
And,
a listen.
and one of my closest brothers. We ain't brothers by blood, but he's in the chat right now. Cultural talks. Good to see you here, man. Rayshon's one of my closest friends. In this world, love the guy to death, and definitely watch right now. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I love the support, especially from friends and stuff like that. I always tell people, all my friends and stuff, they be like, "Hey, I want you to do something." I'm like, "Man, I've been doing a podcast for the longest, and I've never seen your name as a subscriber. Shut up, please." So,
Oh man! But before we get into Dragon
oh,
Ball,
sorry.
what animes are you watching right now besides, of course, Solo Leveling?
Other animes I've been watching. Oh, interesting one for you guys will have to be Happy Marriage. Happy Marriage season two has been pretty good. I don't know if you guys seen season one. It's on Netflix. Season two is on Netflix. It's a really good story. It's not your typical, shonen battle, pa 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 pa. It's more romance infused. You still get to learn about some interesting abilities. There is some fighting in it, so I don't like to just say there's no fighting, but there is some fighting in it. But it's pretty good. I like that. Other stuff I've been watching is probably pretty much a lot of the isekai anime that's out right now. If I can just kind of go look at it real quick, because sometimes you just can't remember everything because it'd be like, it's right there. But Apothecary Diaries, I've been jumping in and out of that. I've been kind of waiting for the dub to kind of catch up with it, and I know that's something you kind of wanted to talk about later on, but that's something that's been bothering me on a few shows too. I may be a guild receptionist, but I think it's I want to leave on time. That's really good. I don't know if you've seen that, but let me check that out. What else is on that's been pretty good? Oh, this is an interesting one that's been pretty. I think it's a good, funny isekai, but it's a lot of stuff they're doing in the isekai that I think is like funny because they're going a lot of routes that I think is interesting. The daily life of a middle-aged online shopper in another world. Only reason why I find this anime interesting is because there's a lot of nighttime episodes, like scenes where they kind of play on some things are happening, but the fact that they confirm it kind of later on in the episode is kind of like, oh, this is so hilarious. I find that to be kind of funny. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been watching from this season of anime. But if
Have
you're talking about last season, this Bleach was amazing.
Have you watched Blue Box?
Have I watched what?
Blue Box.
No, I haven't yet.
Yo,
I heard some
dude,
people say is it
I'm not
good?
gonna lie to you. It's my first romantic anime. Judge me if you want. It's pretty dope. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. It's pretty good.
Okay, okay. Oh man, it's
I made a video about Blue Box about communication is key and all that stuff, and somebody commented to check out Kaguya Love is War. I never saw it, but that's one of my go tos. I'm going to start watching next because like
who's deaf. and basically speaks in sign language and wanting to communicate with her. Fucking amazing. It's probably one of my favorite. There's another one I like that's actually a manga, but I can't. If I couldn't say the name to save my life. And a gun to my head. There's like say this,
And
and
besides,
your kids live. God,
besides
that'd be
besides
funny.
besides Blue Box, I'm also watching Invincible, which season 3 has been phenomenal. Have you watched Invincible at all?
No, I need to get back. I need to get back. I watched season one, and I need to get back to watch season
All right,
two, and get it to three.
all right. Listen to me. Season 2 is a very slow burn. It's slow, but season 3 has been phenomenal.
It's been jumping. See, I
Oh,
knew season two was gonna be lame. Not lame, but slow because I read the comics.
did
Is it
you?
comics or manga? Yeah, I did because it's actually like a comic series. So and I knew like his mom was gonna be super depressed and everything throughout that whole
Yep,
season and
yep.
all that. So like I I just wasn't turned on to watching it. So maybe I should just skip to going to the season three, or maybe I should do like a little skim through season two just to kind of see what's going on for season three. But I'm definitely about to get jump right back on it because my brother literally got on it and he told me about it and I was mad because I told him like didn't I tell you about that show before and you were like I don't want to watch that but it was bootleg Justice League in the beginning. Now you talk about, oh, that's one of the best scenes you ever seen. Nigga, fuck. I mean, ooh, man, you just make me mad sometimes, Lord.
All right, so
Niggas to the sky.
but the reason why we're here is to react to the final episode of Dragon Ball Daima and the entire season totality. And it's been truly phenomenal. And we got to get a shout out to Akira Toriyama, who this year, 1 year ago, has passed away. And it's just crazy how the last episode today is his 1 year anniversary. Cool stuff right there. And this was his final work. Regardless how you feel, regardless how I feel about the pacing, the last few episodes have been phenomenal, and it just showcased those last Rayshon, the last few episodes showcase why we all love Dragon Ball. Let's be honest.
For sure, for sure. And I know a lot of times people have opinion on the pacing, and I'll say I do too. I wish they could have did better at showing them trying to slow it down than kind of doing the same repeated thing that they were doing. Because I feel like if you think about it though, at the pace of Dragon Ball Daima, if they would have literally just went from island to island, the how at the pace they were going after like the ship and everything was fixed, they would this probably would have been only a 12 episode anime.
Yeah,
So it's like sometimes you gotta if you wanna drag it out a little bit and kind of get to this point because I do think them trying to end it at his death day is probably something that they wanted to do. So
yeah, and that
I
right
think they
there,
kind of stretched it out.
and that was dope. I'm not gonna say here louder. That was a cool thing to do for Akiri. And shout out to him again. He was like, you know what? Because he probably knew something was going on with him. He was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna give the fans everything they want. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna give Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, which we've been waiting for over 30 plus years. And I don't know about you, but Super Saiyan 4 is easily one of the best transformation. He was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna give it to you guys. Enjoy it. And that right there was I loved it. I loved that. I loved that. And he gave the fans everything he wanted. He was like, I'm gonna go into my death with my leaving my fans with everything they always wanted. And he did that for us.
And I always say this when every time I talk about death, it's like you want to leave something that you can be remembered. Because I always remember, I don't know what anime or what movie I was watching. The worst thing after death is being forgotten. Like nobody remembering you, because it's like then you're truly like gone. So like trying to leave something back that can literally always bring people back into thinking about you. I have to respect Toriyama for doing that because I mean he literally pioneered a whole genre around the world. So I mean, yes. Um to make a lot of things canon, I will say because I don't know if you can there might be people that can argue and try to argue, but I think anything that is written by the author is canon. So everything that you've seen and some of the stuff that did get like retcon and stuff like that, that's technically how the story is right now. So, trying to fit everything into the story, sometimes I do think we as fans have to kind of sit back and realize that the author is king. So, we're not the ones to make any judgments on that. Personally, nominal. I think the way they've ended the last few episodes was great. I think the fact that they given us some of the best looking Dragon Ball I've ever seen, phenomenal. And they did it on an episode to episode base, phenomenal. It wasn't the fact that it was just the last three episodes. We're gonna put our heart and soul on these episodes while everything else was like butchy and who the fuck is this in this scene? Because you can go back and look into a lot of the super episodes and be like, what the hell? Like, and then I always tell myself the fact that I was such a huge Dragon Ball fan. That first watch through, didn't notice it. Second watch through, I'm like, whoa! Like,
Yeah,
I'm surprised
that
they got
was
away with it.
yeah, that was tough. I felt like they were editing these episodes with paint, like literally the software paint in our computer, because it was bad. Like the background was literally just one color. Goku looked like Buzz Lightyear at points. Like it was just so damn bad at one point. And be grateful what we got now, because it could have been bad too.
Man, and I'm glad that struggles like that have literally helped change the whole anime production for a lot of shows where they're like, no, we're gonna pace our shows out 20, maybe 20 episodes, 25 episodes, but trying to do that long pace episodes and working on. I'm going with the mindset they're working on these episodes the same week that they're coming out. Because to me, you can't tell me you got all these, you didn't work on these episodes months in advance and they look like that. Like, how did this get past testing? How did anybody like? I just feel like they literally was like, "Yeah, we're gonna green light y'all. I got a month. It take like more than a month to probably get the whole idea off the ground, and that's the reason why it looked like it did because you can tell Daima had time. They had time to work on
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? 'Cause every episode was phenomenal,
Well,
and the fact they literally think they took off two anime staffs just to make sure that Daima got what it needed. Like, we're gonna One Piece staff, y'all said we gonna take a few of y'all artists and stuff like that because I don't know a lot of people don't know this is a lot of anime teams they are like really like friend group based. So you'll grab one person, but that one person will have like a whole bunch of people that work with them. You know what I mean? So they can like take away from a whole project or not. You know what I mean? If they don't get the right person, they might not get the best of the best for the project.
yeah, going back to the studio, right? Because Toei knew that One Piece during the Egg arc was some good stuff going on, and they knew that going into competition with Dragon Ball Diamond and One Piece, it was gonna be a lot of confliction. And plus, they probably have respect for Akira Toriyama. They was like, you know what? Let's put One Piece on a hiatus for 6 months because it comes back next month in April. So they was like, you know what? Let's get all the hype out for Daima because the last few episodes is going to be generational. They knew that, and it was like, instead of going head to head, let's give Daima the entire spotlight. And once it's over, it's all back to One Piece, Egghead, and mind you guys, we haven't hit none of the critical stuff in Egghead yet, and it's going to be truly phenomenal. And I think they didn't want to do like let people forget about One Piece, people forget about Dragon Ball. They was like, let's focus on Dragon Ball, give them the spotlight, and then when it's over, it's all about One Piece again.
Which is interesting too, because they also needed to kind of build up with the chapters too, because people don't realize
It was catching up.
One Piece is they was literally like right next door to that their manga chapter. So trying to figure out what's gonna happen before he writes it is like probably a definitely no go because I bet you he won't let that shit get out. But also, um, is it Oda? If I'm remembering correct, Oda,
Yeah,
One Piece.
yeah, Ishida Oda.
He has he has such huge respect for Toriyama that I
Yes.
feel like if I don't know if this was something that he came up with or just the production team or something that he like, I'm not trying to compete with my man. I let him be able to ride out his last shit type thing. And I feel that because you know what I mean? He was a huge pioneer in the game. I didn't even think about that as being like something they probably was trying to do, but I mean, uh, it's still kind of like solo level and has been like a lot of episodes have been like some of the highest rated episodes in like anime history. So it's like, oh man. But I do like that. I think the last episode of the Dragon Ball Daima hit hard. I think that was like 9.9. So, whew. And I think this last episode should definitely hit hard because that was a. I liked the ending of it and stuff like that, and the fact that we kind of get to see the evil containment wave used again in a different way.
Yeah. Plus, like once again, you got to give a shout out to Akira Toriyama because look at what I'm wearing. A Dragon Ball jacket. Figures behind
Oh, that's
me.
dope.
Dragon Ball. Like, come on, right here says Kamehameha. Like this right here is all because of Akira Toriyama, and we wouldn't even be here without him and any as well too. So, gotta give a shout out to the guy, the goat.
I got my little Master Roshi right there. That's the only Dragon Ball. I don't have a poster. I have a little poster on the side there, but I don't know if people can tell. It's a little Kamehameha, him versus Vegeta, but you guys can't really see it, so I'm kind of heartbroken about that.
All right, so if you guys ever seen Ray Sean's podcast, he always starts off with a question and catches you off guard sometimes. So since you're the guest, I'm gonna ask you a question. What's your favorite Kamehameha moment?
Oh, this is really interesting. There's been a lot of different Kamehamehas and a lot of different facial expressions and a lot of different iconic moments because I feel like each Kamehameha done from different people could have different like meanings and things. And I always give Master Roshi his props for being the person that came up with that move and the fact that your move has already been more used more to eat bad guys than almost any other person. So props to that. And the fact that your student keep do using it, so you got to give props to that. So the best Kamehameha, I will have to say, hmm,
Put you in a spot. I got him.
that did put me on the spot because I mean, trying to like think of like all the different versions of Kamehamehas and which one is the one that I'm like, because I mean, like even the one that Ting Gohan uses to beat
So
Cell with him and his dad coming in helping him and like giving him the confidence to actually do it and Vegeta coming in and helping out and low key that might be it for me because trying to think what's
you
Goku's best
you want me to
like
go first?
from that. Yeah, you go ahead, go first real quick
Ray
so I can.
Sean, this right here is probably one of the coldest Kamehameha of all time. Is when Goku instant transmission right in front of Cell's face and blows that Kamehameha right in front of him. Oh my god, that was epic. Epic, epic. Because I thought he killed him right there. I was like, oh shit. Because literally the top half of his body is gone. And
Mhm.
that right there was just so damn cool. Because everybody's like, yo, Goku, chill the fuck out. You're going to blow up the earth from there. And he was like, I don't give a shit. And then he transmission right in front of Cell and blew that Kamehameha. That right there was truly epic. To me, one of my favorite of all time.
All right, all right. Okay, I just thought of mine. As soon as you said that, I just kind of thought of which probably be my favorite Kamehameha. I have to go with Master Roshi using it in the the 21st. I think it's the 21st World Tournament when he goes against Goku and Goku transforms into the Great Ape and he has to blow up the moon and the fact that feat has always destroyed the power scaling of Dragon Ball because it's like, how the fuck did Master Roshi just blow up the moon in that moment? But he literally does. And I feel like that was one of the few times that we get to see the move really get to show how powerful that it can be. So that's probably my favorite moment. Just thinking about it, other than Team Gohan, his I think that'd be second moment. I like a lot of Dragon Ball Goku moments, but I can't think off the top of my head the last time he's like truly ended a fight with that move. Even though he does use it in almost every fight, but it's like, when is the most iconic one? And as low key, I would say this Super Saiyan 4 one is probably the most beautiful one that you've seen artistically. The one in the Super Bro Broly movie was pretty good too.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. That Kamehameha was meant for death. Because that right there, you could tell that was Vegeta taking over Gogeta's body right there. Because you know Vegeta's he'll kill. He doesn't give a shit. And I think that was Vegeta right there doing the Kamehameha.
You talking about the Super Saiyan 4 one?
No, in the Gogeta versus Brawly.
Oh
I feel like Vegeta took over in that moment when he did the Kamehameha.
sure, for sure. And the only reason why I was confused on why that one, because I think both of them are truly brutal. And I feel like how the Super Saiyan 4 one, when you get to see the aftermath of it, that's the first time we ever seen it look like, whoo, boy, that did some
So
shit right there.
going to talk about that Kamehameha. Would you say that could be a top five?
Oh, definitely. That could be arguably the top contender because the fact that to me that looked like the most powerful one where we actually see it penetrate through somebody, go through like
Three
three
demon
different
worlds.
worlds, and we can't even argue if how much further it went after that because it literally said, that's enough. We don't have to keep showing you how much powerful, but literally it freed a whole world, like a whole dimension. That move like gave everybody freedom right there because it literally opened up all the whole thing. I have to say it was beautiful. I love the fact that that move looked like it truly won. Like he won with that
Yeah.
move. Like the
Yo,
aftermath was so
I'm not gonna
crazy.
lie to you, it was so badass because when he had the handstand, you could see like the aura on his fingertips still from the Kamehameha. I don't know about you, I was like, man, that's fucking badass right there.
And it made me understand why a person like Vegeta or like would be angry and only reason is because you picked the wrong type of rival. A rival who just keeps growing and to the point where you're like, bruh, I just got to Super Saiyan 3. You telling me you already got this form right here, and it's just like you know what I mean? Like just that moment where you got deep breath your moment self. You just gotta admit to yourself. And I like that this come after the moment where um Vegeta gives props to Goku being that person that's able to always reach in inside and always dig harder and be that person. But I feel like he really proved it in this fight, being the person that always took the lead and allowed everybody else to really take a break when he kept jumping in and trying to take over the fight. So that's why Goku's my number one type nigga.
So before we move on for the Kamehameha, I feel like there's no way an innocent bystander didn't get hit by the Kamehameha wave. It went through three worlds. It had to hit somebody else.
Man, you pray it didn't, but most likely it probably did. But it seemed like it was coming up close to where the portal entrances were. So maybe it did. Maybe nobody was too close to that, but that was crazy how powerful that was.
That was so good.
They were real. They was going in their animation bag right there. They like, bruh, we gonna really go in because I like even the move when they went into the earth and they were he was shooting those green beams and you could see like it destroying like the whole earth and shit. Like, oof. Like it's hard for me to say earth because I don't know if that's earth they in that dimension, but it's still great depictions that they were giving us.
So I want to talk about Daima as a whole real quick, all right?
Okay, okay.
I still believed after everything we got, it could have been a movie. And
I
hear me out, okay?
say okay.
They could have utilized. I mean, it sounds so wrong to even say this, but they could advertise it like this is the last Akira Toriyama's work. Go see it. You know what I mean? And they could advertise that. And as it got closer to release date, they could have showcased a quick clip of Super Saiyan 4. And I promise you, the fandom would have went crazy. Because seeing that right there is going to drive everybody like, oh my God, like, we haven't seen Super Saiyan 4 since Dragon Ball GT. And it's going to want everybody to go to the movie theaters to see that, right or wrong? Like, I feel like they could have
I
utilized.
mean, for sure. I think Dragon Ball would have sold no matter what because it's Dragon Ball. You know what I mean? And everybody wanted more Dragon Ball.
Yeah, but like I said, but
Uh,
advertising Akira Toriyama's last work and then showcasing Super Saiyan 4, it could have the number.
yeah,
It could have been close to Demon Slayer Mugen Train numbers, to be honest with you.
yeah. It probably could have even surpassed that in a lot of ways, just because of how much more famous Dragon Ball is. Because I mean, even people who don't necessarily call themselves anime fans know Super Saiyan. You know what I mean?
And I feel like it would have been perfect. It's me asking for more. If it was a movie and the end credits, right? Instead of what we got here, they could have showed moral. Just one little clip of Moro, and boom, see you in 2027. I'm good. I'll wait. I'll wait for that shit. Cause now that Diamond's over, we gotta play that. What's next? We want more. You're not gonna give all Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan 3, all this beautiful shit, and now we're like, we're good. We're full. No, after watching this, I want more now, and I want
Most
Moro,
definitely.
and I want Moro.
I mean, I feel like that's hopefully the next route they're gonna go. But I feel like they really seen that people still want to watch Dragon Ball, that is still selling and stuff like that. And I think the right now the main thing that they need to worry about is making sure they can get the right animation team for it. If they can get the same people they got for Daima to do um the next arc of Super for Moral arc and just the Granola arc and stuff like that, I think they have an amazing anime. And the fact that now I feel like you give what's his name because I can never think of I fuck his name up every time I say it. To Totoro, another another way to be able to mix in some of the stuff that happened in Daima and try to weave it into the story and kind of make it more congestible. I think this gives him a nice opportunity to be able to do that. I will say, jumping into doing that series is a little bit more probably harder to do because you feel like it's kind of like okay, I'm really taking the Rams because this is never seen content. No, you know what I mean. So it's like, I feel I can see why he might be hesitant on it.
Did you read the one shot he dropped?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I thought it was really cool that Gohan gets to be the main figure to both of them to wonder why they want
Yeah.
to be superheroes, since he is like the main person that likes superheroes. And the fact that I think a lot of people don't realize who Gohan's inspiration of a superhero is. It's Goku. I like it makes me so bad when people do not know that. Like, y'all be like, why do people underestimate how much this man respects his fucking father? Like, this is crazy. People be like, oh, Piccolo was his daddy. I don't think he believed that. I don't know where y'all really got that from, but all right. Okay.
One of my favorite moments in that one shot was when they were showing the statue of Hercule and they show a picture of like baby teen Goku and there was like who's that and there was like he's somebody who doesn't want to be known for his recognition of saving the world multiple times, and they just had a question mark right in front of it. I think that was pretty cool. How
Yeah,
the
then
how
they
the
were
how the
like,
world knows nothing of the man who saves the world multiple times.
but then you get to contrast that when they're like, oh, well, that's Hercule, and he's one of those people he does like that recognition, and everybody know who Hercule is, and everything he's in conflict. It's like, oh, so I do like having you get to see Trunks and him in that reaction, getting to see people and seeing that stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool.
All right, one last thing about the one shot, okay? I want to get your take on this. How would you feel if they took away Goku and Vegeta and just left them in Beerus World, just training and all that stuff, and just focus on Goten and Trunks, like how Boruto is, where it's just focused on the kids of Naruto and Sasuke and all them? I think that would be pretty cool. Like, granted, I know the villains can't be OP like God levels, but I think you can introduce like same levels of Gohan and Goten and Trunks.
Yeah, and then I mean, you still have Gohan to still be like the top savior. I mean, you literally gave him beast mode. So I mean, he should be able to take on some of those heavy threats. I think he can literally if they do the next two arcs, yeah, he can do the next arc and let Goku and Vegeta go somewhere and then let the story mainly focus on the kids and see how that does. Because really, you would just have to really develop on their characters and really make people want to focus more on them. But also, you get to kind of bring back a lot of side characters and make them more interesting too. Because now they got more reasons to come back into the fray because now the power levels will probably be a lot lower. And now we get to see how their reactions can be. Now you could probably pick Piccolo more back into being a mentor back in the center stage because now he can be helping them get to be the main heroes and stuff like that. And then you can go on your bag and make your own villains now. So
Yeah, I would like them to be focused. Like, one of my favorite characters is Trunks. I mean, Future Trunks is my favorite character, but Trunks now I like him, so I think it'll be cool to just showcase more of the kids growing up and let them be their story for a year or two, then bring back the goats.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, and I feel like it works on the theme that seemed like Goku been was trying to do for a while, and Z was trying to pass the torch, but it just seemed like the torch just could never be passed because nobody was willing to take it and actually be the next Goku. Because if you're not willing to just jump out there and fight the next person like it's nothing, even though you just fought the biggest battle the day before, but you ain't to do it the next day, you can't be the savior of the world. Like you
Yeah.
can't be Goku. Like you know what I mean. So and I love when Vegeta gets that picture perfect moment in the is it the I think it's the Boo saga, but it might also be the that movie, that last movie they were in when he dies with Janemba. So it's kind of hard for me to remember where exactly he makes that moment.
All right, so let's talk about Super Saiyan 4 design. I'm not gonna lie to you, Rashawn. I liked it a lot. I like the big forearms and the hands. Like it gave me vibes of the ape. It gave him. It looked like made him look like an ape as well too. And the red hair
Yep.
symbolizing that the next form after this is Super Saiyan God. And the animation studio went off. Oh my god! Every time they showcase Super Saiyan 4, it looks so badass. And I love the design. I think it's better than the GT version.
Oh,
That's how fire the design is. Especially when he was a kid and he was running against Gomar and then he was like running like an ape and all that stuff. That like people don't even see those type of things. To me, I was like, oh man, like it's giving him the animal instinct, like he's an ape right now. Really cool stuff.
yeah. Like even when he was dodging in some of the moves from this previous episode. I mean, this newest episode we just saw, and the way he was flipping and moving around and stuff like that, he was acting kind of like a monkey and stuff. Because I noticed that, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool that they're going out of their way to show that. I think the characteristics of the whole transformation is amazing. I think what makes it also cool is the fact that they kind of made it seem like it was like an overpowering transformation where it seemed like he just kept on getting stronger and stronger and stronger every time the demon lord was getting stronger. I can't think of his name off the top of my
Goma
head
is
right now.
it Goma?
Goma, yeah. Yeah, the fact that Goma just kept getting stronger and the fact that he was able to pretty much match him and that fact when that second when he was just beating his ass with his punching his shit up and up, I was like, oh, you gotta give it to Super Saiyan 4 right here. And I love the fact that he pulled it out too when he was going through the whole one, two, three
Oh,
transformations
dude,
and
that
then
was
he was like,
so
oh,
fucking badass. He was like, "Yo,
one more for your ass.
another one. Here's another one."
Pulled off the shirt. I love that right
Yeah.
there. That it just made it seem like he was just going into a whole nother type of realm of power right there. And then Loki showed it because when I say they went out in their animation bag, they literally did because everything looked phenomenal.
Yeah, it was truly, truly great. So, Rashawn, let's talk about some of our likes throughout Daima. Let's be
Okay.
positive, and then we'll get negative towards the end, okay? Well,
Okay. Okay.
come on, let's talk about it. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, which we all been waiting for over 30 years. Could Vegeta do it? Is he even capable of doing it? And he finally did it as a kid form, and it looked truly phenomenal. And every time, like I said before, every time Vegeta gets a new form, he gets cocky. And when he was fighting the Takagami, he had his hand folded and was just kicking the living shit out of Takagami, and it was just so cool to see it. And then when he came back to an adult, he activated it again, just showcasing that okay, he can do it more frequently, and he was really strong. And he was giving it to Goma, even though he had an axe power recovering every goddamn time. But it was truly phenomenal. I loved it, and at the end too, like he gave it his own name, like, and it foreshadowed his current transformation. Any spoilers out there? Cover your ears. Of Ultra Ego, he said. Well, I forgot what he said. Was it Ultra? What did he say?
Well,
Ultra Saiyan 1 or something like that? Or I can't forget what he
yeah,
said.
something like that.
But
Oh man, it was on the top of my head too at the beginning of
yeah,
this.
but he's showcasing that every form he have now is gonna be called Ultra something, and his current form, which is Ultra Ego, which is my favorite Vegeta form with the earrings, the purple hair, looks so badass. And what's your thoughts on Super Saiyan 3?
Oh, Super Saiyan 3 for Vegeta is amazing. I'm glad that he finally get to have some highlighted moments and some moments you get to go back and be like, these were clearly his moments and stuff like that. I do wish he would have had a little bit more to do at the end of the fight, but I do like how it ended anyway. You know what I mean? I feel like it still contributed to somebody else getting some shine and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. And the fact that he did get to have a moment where he was whooping Goma's ass for a good second of the time with Super Saiyan 3. But Goma can keep increasing his power, so he eventually did overpower him. But for a while, I mean, it's just I feel like a lot of things they just don't be good at like ending things, ending the fight.
Yeah.
But also the fact that I mean they would have had to really like tear his head off the only way to really win this fight, to be honest with you.
So one of my next favorite moments, Vegeta's horny moment. He's one of us. This, upstuck attitude, Prince of Saiyans, I'm the strongest, all that stuff. And I loved him when Bulma popped up because Goku said, "Yo, let me hop in," because right now Vegeta's losing a lot of energy right now. And I love when Bulma said, "Yo, you ain't gonna get none if you don't let these boys go into the ring right now." And my man was so fast that I couldn't even catch up with him. That right there to me was probably one of the best moments of all the time. That was there was truly hilarious.
Man, you just got to give it to the whole character progression
Yep.
that we've seen with Vegeta. I mean, for the fact that this is the man that came down to Earth and was willing to just blow all of it up just because he couldn't win a fight. So now this man is literally, taking breaks in fights now just because his wife threatens to not take a shower with him anymore. So that is just I find it to be peak Toriyama funny. This is just going back into his bag of how his comedy type of shit. I find out what I think is also interesting that throughout Daima that's made me more interested in the character of Bulma is the fact that Bulma is all a lot of times right there's right in center watching what's going on and literally being an active part of trying to contribute to helping the situation or just literally being there. And a lot of people in Dragon Ball you see be scared to even be there at the fight. And we know that she don't have the power to fight none of these motherfuckers, but she literally still there. And I just find that to be amazing. And the crazy part, the fact that she never really needed to go to the demon world. Like she never really
No.
had to go there, but she still went. Like you just gotta like. I feel like Oma is the best wife I have in Dragon Ball because she's literally probably the most supportive in the fact that she's literally always right beside Vegeta.
Yeah, she's perfect for him. And to piggyback what you said, character development. Vegeta hands down has the best character development in all of Dragon Ball. It's him number one, number two is Piccolo.
Yeah, I think Piccolo has good character development. I think like even like Goku, I think he'd probably be in top five with just his good character development and all the things that he goes through, and even his character through Daima and the fact that how he acts as a kid to when he changes back to an adult, and he's more like knowing Glorio's name and being it seems like he's more caring and stuff like that when he's more of a dog. When he's a kid, he's a little bit more reckless and more funny type of thing. So I think that's pretty interesting. And his whole like his relationship with Vegeta and stuff and how he's more I feel like he plays more of like the older brother. I got this you get to this type of get to here type of thing in their relationship, and I find that to be pretty cool.
Quick question. Are they the same age or is Goku older?
So Vegeta's older.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, you gotta remember Vegeta was like a whole like kid before he was even born. He's older than Broly too.
Okay. Gotcha. So, do you have any likes for Daima?
Goku and Broly would be the same age.
Yeah, because remember the. I don't. Yeah. Because, yeah, Vegeta was away before Frieza blew up the planet. Yeah, he was already doing missions, and Broly got sent away to be executed and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah. Makes sense. Yep, you're
Yeah,
right.
I would say Broly might be a few days older, but they should be about the same age.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right, so do you have any likes for Daima?
Um, likes that I'm trying to think. I like the fact that we kind of get to see more into like the Supreme Kais and where they come from and learning more about them. I like that Majin Buu gets to become Supreme Demon Lord at
That
the
was that
end.
was cool. That was cool.
I loved it because I love how his character development and how like shy his character is, and I love the fact that even like when Renzu is thinking like everybody's trying to leave her and all this, he's literally right there. Like I will always be right here with you, like to the day's end. I feel like he was the most loyal person throughout the whole show, and I love the fact that he was able to get a good ending at the end, and the fact that he still was like give her props at the end, like you are one of the best minds out here. I'm gonna make you my vice supreme, and then giving everybody else jobs and stuff like that, and breaking down their character development. And oh, you wasn't really a bad guy; you was a good guy the whole time. Like I was like, oh man, this dude is amazing. I love Majin Buu. And I love the moment when he was the only one that was able to answer that math question when you got the person be the smartest person in the room. She like, who the fuck can answer that? Like he literally says it and then get the props there. And he literally like knocks the eye out of the Goma. And for a second he looking like, no, y'all not gonna say nothing? Like y'all gonna act like y'all didn't do nothing. And then they all give him his props. So I like that, man.
Yeah,
I thought I'm a Majin Buu fan. I feel like I'm a big
after this episode,
fan.
yeah, because at first he's like, "Damn, is he in the same level as Majin Buu?" And then you see that he can't really go toe to toe with Otagami #1, and then you see he starts getting treated like shit, and you start to feel bad for him, and she like starts blowing him off, and then he's thinking, Majin Buu like, "Damn, he's really stronger than him." He's like, his bitch boy, yo, give me some cookies, give me some chocolate, and he just running to the stores getting him chocolate, and at the end he comes through, and then he becomes the Demon King, and he just helps out everybody, which that right there was pretty dope. He still had love for everybody, even though he was getting treated like shit.
And really, I think he just really became more of a support because it seemed like he became everybody's support. Because even like you can say like he was being kind of bitched at and was like go get cookies and stuff. It was a lot of moments where what's his name was losing and he like, oh, you need a cookie. Let me go get you a cookie so you can go win them. Like he was actively being great support for everybody. And the fact that I mean, when what's her name needed the book, he went to go get the book. Like I feel like it was one of the best support, and the fact that it kind of took a while for her to really notice that. And I'm not even gonna say it took like to the end for her to notice that because I feel like the moment when she feels like everybody's leaving her and he's like putting that like instilling her like no matter what happens, I'm still like here. Like it don't matter how you treat me, like I'm here with you. I feel like that was the moment that really you got to see how loyal of a person he was. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely great stuff there. And like I said, cool dude, getting everybody jobs, and again, building. It's crazy if you think about it. Dragon Ball's roster is pretty huge. You go from Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Super, and Daima as well too. Like obviously, One Piece has a million more characters, but there's a shit ton of characters in Dragon Ball Daima, and like I said, they just added more to the roster for future stories. They could do a bunch of things.
Yeah, I mean, now we got more people that can come into the demon world now. I mean, all the worlds are connected. I mean, it'll be cool to see how cool when not cool. I mean, those in the trunks, how they would do here with the threat, evil enough. But it's just interesting what new threats will come into play because one rule in the demon world is anybody that can do demon lord and can literally become demon. So I mean, there's still technically two more out there that can literally you at that level, which surprises me because you got the most powerful person, the most rich person. I'm surprised about one of them. She ain't playing when it comes to look younger. Almost. And I think
She took a whole jar. She took the whole jar. I was like, yo, fuck it. I'm gonna look 1,000 years young.
The only reason is because she's married to a man that looks pretty much like in his prime until he's like in his like older 80s, I think 90s, and it's just like it's hard for her to compete with that because it's like, damn, is he still looking at me or is he looking at me as like a grandma now?
You know what's crazy? Because think about that mindset. Think from a woman's aspect. Like, damn, Vegeta, he's fit. You know what I mean? He's a good-looking guy, and he's not. He's not going to age where I'm human. I'm going to age, and eventually, he's still going to love me the same way. And I think she's doing all this for Vegeta.
I mean, yeah, but she's always been like throughout Dragon Ball been that type of person that's like really worried about how she looked and trying to keep young because like that's even something she was doing as a kid. But I'm not saying she was actually trying to take stuff to make her look younger because now I mean now you see in Dragon Balls now she's literally making wishes, trying to go back years and stuff like that. Where it's like, man, I didn't know it was that bad for you, mama. Like, like, oh man, I need about 10 years off. I
All
like
right.
how she do it though. She like, I only gonna take a few years off because if I take too many years off, people gonna know I got something done. Like, you don't think they think that now? Like, okay.
All right, so let's go to the dislikes right now. We've been very positive for the past 50 minutes about Dragon Ball Daima. Let's get to the stuff that, to me, I didn't really like. First up, I think you can agree with me. Dragon Ball is probably the biggest IP in the world when it comes to the anime aspect, right?
Mhm.
You're telling me that they couldn't drop the dubs together with the sub? Because Doctor Stone is not as big as Dragon Ball, is getting weekly dubs. Don Don, which I love the anime, truly phenomenal, is getting weekly dubs and subs. And Kaiju number 8 is dropping weekly dubs and subs as well too. Like you're telling me the English is 2 months behind. They just got to the part where Goku went Super Saiyan and did a Kamehameha wave against Granola. You're telling me like there's no way you could do neck and neck?
I mean,
Like it,
Gloria.
yeah, Gloria, yeah, yeah. Like you're telling me like you couldn't drop the subs and dubs like simultaneously. Like there's no way. Like Dragon Ball is the biggest IP in the world, and that right there just bothered me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being weird.
Well, I feel you on that, but I know that had to do a lot with I think the dubbing studio they were working with for this Dragon Ball um run. But I will say I don't know if it also has to do with the three because they did a movie where they did the first three episodes. They showed us a dub, and then it took so long after that before we even got those episodes in. Because I had a voice actor that was supposed to come on that was in that, and he couldn't. I couldn't even let that episode go out because of something he said in there about that. And it's like it had. I think it's a lot to do with like the production and how everything was going on with the whole series and stuff like that. So I know it hates because me personally, I'm still trying to figure out when it's all done if I'm gonna go back and rewatch it because I realized watching this series, the original voice for Goku, she is phenomenal. You got to give her props. Like I thought she did really good in this episode. Like even with the transformation into Super Saiyan 4, and I feel like this episode really held up to like just good Japanese voice acting. Like
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I'm not gonna lie to you. To be honest with you, I haven't really watched a dub Dragon Ball since the Buu Saga. Like the entirety of Super, I watched it in sub. The entirety of
Mhm.
Daima, I watched it in sub. Besides the Broly movie, I watched that in dub. I watch all the movies in dub, but like the TV series, I haven't watched dub since Majin Buu.
Yeah, because a lot of times when it's been coming out, the sub has been a lot further along, and that's been literally for the last few projects they didn't have. So I don't know if it's just a studio thing and how they do things over there, but yeah, I mean, I don't have no problem. I think the Japanese dub actually keeps that does pretty good.
Yeah. Next up, Rayshawn, another thing I disliked: the goddamn planes going down for the first half of the season. It got to the point where it was like, oh, bro, enough's enough. Like, you brought Pansy with you to, fix any mechanical issues, and she can't fix them herself because they're falling down every fucking episode. It got to the point like, all right, enough. I can't take this anymore. It got too much to a point, and after, yeah, I was over it.
I will say this for that. They were literally getting broken down ships, though. They weren't like getting the next state of the line ship to fly them around. They was literally finding another broken down ship, and unfortunately, that's what's gonna happen. If you buy a lemon to a lemon, then get a lemon, or if you still in a lemon and then still in another lemon, I mean, you gonna get another lemon. Like you're not gonna go as far as you want. But I will say it did get to a point where it's like, okay again, again, again. But I feel like a lot of it they had to be able to kind of slow the pace down, kind of get uh, to a point where Goku and them weren't so far ahead in the demon world. So when Vegeta and them caught up to him, they could still be in the first world. You know what I mean? And they can meet up like that. But like I wish they could have did a different like archetype when that stuff happened instead of like, oh, the ship goes down again. Because it did kind of, what you're arguing, it did kind of play on what's her name. Like, she's supposed to be there to fix on the ships. But I do like the fact that even when they do get Bulma, more scientists are still like, we can't fix these ships. Like, we are getting literally the worst ships out here. And then we're trying to make them do more than what they can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
It was either the ships are
then
going down or they're getting stolen.
yeah, or you're getting shot at because Vegeta being rude, and now it's getting stolen, and it's like it's a very very interesting world they got there in the demon world.
All right. Do you have any dislikes?
Dislikes. I will say the only thing I will dislike is probably Supreme Kai's brother. I feel like he didn't get enough moments to grow, or to me, I just feel like he came off as a flunky and he left as a flunky, and
Yeah.
I wish that would have been he would have got done better. But I will say I do like the fact that Goma did get that treat of being able to take him do his sentence with him instead of doing it on his own. Because I feel like that would have been way worse than not at least having somebody in there to talk to and shit like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say this: he came as a bitch and left as a bitch.
I mean, he didn't get no moments. Even the sister gets the least to get a whole new position. Everybody's like, you weren't even really evil. You just trying to do what you trying to do. You know what I mean? Even though she like, I'm still on my goals and do what I want. And so, but I think it's pretty cool.
All right, I got one more dislike. All right, it's just me being extra. Yes, there was a lot of pacing issues, a lot. But this is one episode that bothered me the most. Besides the Titan World, because that right there didn't make no sense to me, was the episode when they go. It was like a war episode where they're getting beaten, and I'm like, guys, come fucking on. I felt like I was watching One Piece for a second where they were getting beaten by tanks and all that stuff by getting electrocuted by this field. I'm thinking like, Vegeta, you have your wife in the battlefield. If something happens to her, why you gonna wait till that moment for her to get hurt for you to go berserk on us? Like none of them were in Super Saiyan. They were just taking it easy. I think that right there was just bothering. I know it was pacing issues. It was a big pacing issue, but that episode just bothered me the most.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes you want there to be moments where you're like, okay, there are situations where they're actually being challenged. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of the beginning of the series, you felt like Goku wasn't even being challenged. So now they're coming up with countermeasures and playing. Because that's the part you're talking about when they're busting into the demon world, trying to get to Gnoma, and they're
Yeah,
fighting everybody, and they're kind of got the yeah, I liked it there because you kind of get to see the different strategies they're using it against them, basically hitting them with a lot of numbers and hitting them with constant attacks and not really giving them enough time to move around and make those transformations because they literally have to keep dodging and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool and a nice little strategy to use against them and seeing them have to counteract that. So yeah,
it was all right for me. It was.
I don't know. I'm just you put positive spin on everything if you look at it from a different lens. You know what I mean?
All right, so we're at the end, and let's give our review for Dragon Ball Daima as a whole. What's your final score?
I'll give it a 10 out of motherfucking 10. I think
Wow, a 10 out of 10.
I will always have to give any Dragon Ball content a 10 out of 10 because I love all Dragon Ball content and the fact that I want it to always continue. So no matter what, I'm always going to rate it 10 out of 10. And then I have to go buy something that's from Dragon Ball Daima because I need to make sure this keeps going on. And anyone out there that likes Dragon Ball content, you definitely got to support it in every way you can. And I think it held up for I mean, especially with the ending, you get to see a lot of great transformations. I feel like it was beautifully artistically done. I mean, 10 out of 10.
All right, you're not gonna like my score, okay?
What you gonna say, like 7?
The first half, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a solid 6.5 for me. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like
Okay.
there were some cool moments with Goku versus Granolio, Vegeta versus Takagami number two, Goku versus Takagami. Those are really cool moments, and those probably the best moments for the first half. Okay, so at that point, it was 6.5. Then we got to the end for the last, I'll say, 4 to 5 episodes when shit just took off to another atmosphere. It gave me vibes of Goku versus Jiren at that point. I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. And one thing about Dragon Ball, it's all about watching a high octane offense, like the Chiefs or the 2007 Patriots or the Lakers or Kobe Bryant or Miami Heat with LeBron. Like that's what Dragon Ball is about: high tank offense, and it took it to a whole nother level for the last four. And I'm going to bump it up a point 5 and a half to an 8. Cause,
Oh, okay.
dude, the last four episodes was truly phenomenal, and it made up for the pacing issues. I'm not gonna lie to you, it made up. I was, you know what, fuck it. Even though it was a long 5 months, I feel like the last month and a half went really quick,
Sure.
really, really
Amazing.
quick. But I'm sad because I'm not gonna lie to you. When it's getting towards the end, I'm like, fuck, I don't want this to end now. I want more. And when you're Dragon Ball fans, let's be honest, you never want it to be over. I don't care if they keep getting the same transformation, different hair colors. I don't care. I love Dragon Ball. And now that we got fed Daima and fed some beautiful episodes, some epic, epic moments, I want more. And wanting more, I want the moral arc now. Just tell me, hey, fans out there, you're getting it 2027. I'll wait the 2 fucking years. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with the wait. But just let me know. Because as of right now, because unfortunately to the death of Akira Toriyama, we don't know what the IP is going to hold now. The manga has to come back. Granted, a one shot did drop, but what's the next step moving forward? Because you can do so much more now. You still have the more arc, and you still have the Granola arc. That right there, you could take 2 years breaks between each one of them. I don't care. I just want more Dragon Ball content. And unfortunately, we just don't know what's going to happen next. And this is the part that sucks about it.
Sure. You just gotta wait and see. 'Cause basically, who gonna be the head runner and take over, and basically make those calls and those shots. And I know that was some things they've been arguing about for a little bit, trying to figure out who actually is gonna become that person that's gonna come in and take over the realm. So I know they're kind of getting it all straightened out on the manga side, but from the animation side, it's I don't know. I mean, they were able to get Daima and everything off the floor, so I mean that shows us that it can happen. So I feel like I'm very optimistic that we most likely will probably have something new Dragon Ball content within the next 2 years.
Yeah, I agree. But before we end it, Richard, do you have anything else you want to say?
Um, I want to say that this episode was great. I love the ending of the episode where you get to kind of go back to the end, back to the market, and you get to realize that the main person, probably the worst culprit, was actually the shop lady. Because I mean, she literally selling the eyes that people can fucking get and make themselves stronger. And literally, she tells you, "Yeah, I sold one of these back in the day, and I don't remember what's going on with it now, but it's still two more right there, and they can get you about as strong as you need to be." So I like that. I like the my last like before we end this. I like the little moment you get with Nava and Dende and Piccolo, the last three Namekians
Yeah,
kind
that
of
was cool. That
talking,
was cool.
and he like, "Are y'all gonna stay?" And they like, "We still got responsibilities on Earth, but if I see any Rome like some nomad Namekians going around looking for a place to be, I'm gonna let them know that the demon world is where we originated, and I mean, y'all could definitely go back there."
Yo,
So
just thinking about that, right, guys? We're talking about a little bit of spoilers, so if you don't want to hear it, you can cut it off. Mind you, they go back to Namek for the moral arc. They can tie this in by saying, "Hey guys, like there's some help that needed in the demon world. Can you help them out?" I think that would be a pretty cool moment, and put everything together as well too.
yeah, for sure, I'll definitely love to kind of just see the Namekians get more shine. I feel like we definitely been seeing that lately, so you can't not count them Namekians out, bro. Like they are very very interesting groups of people.
Real quick, what's the Supreme Kai sister's name again?
Arenzo.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. I smoke a lot of hookah, and I love that her like how could I say, like her broom that she floats on is a hookah. Like I think that was pretty cool. I don't know. That's just me.
I think that's funny that you bring that up. I think it's funny that the move they use to kind of put them, lock them in a thing in the little light vase kind of look like the evil containment wave.
Yep,
So it makes
yep.
me kind of like, did that move originate from down here? Like, it's a lot of interesting things.
All right, so Rayshawn, before we end it, can you tell the viewers out there where can they find your podcast?
You guys can find me on all your podcasting platforms such as Apple, um, Spotify, Google, and a lot of others podcasting platforms. But you also can find me on YouTube. I've been posting a lot of interviews and stuff like that. So if you want to hear more from some of your favorite voice actors or just conversations about Boruto or Bleach or Dragon Ball and stuff like that, because we went over the whole Saiyan arc, Frieza arc, and still need to finish up the Cell arc. So go give those some listens so we have some reasons to go back and finish the Cell arc.
Yes, and the next time you'll see us again is for Boruto Two Blue Vortex Chapter 20 review, which will be dropping in a couple weeks. Can't wait for that.
Anyway, man.
And until next time, everybody.